Past week's prediction on DXY has come out to be exactly as expected. This week, NFP week coming up, new trading week. So let's see what kind of trading opportunity we have in the market with DXY, XAU, USD, British Pound, US Dollar, Euro Dollar, GBP, JPY, Dollar Yen, Dollar CAD, as well as US30 and NASDAQ. We will be looking at from multi-time frame perspective to see where we can find trading opportunity in the upcoming week. So before we discuss or go for an in-depth analysis, traders, make sure that you give a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet. So with that said, let's look at this week's market, how we can find trading opportunity. Okay, today, so let's begin with DXY. Let's see what kind of opportunity we have in DXY, and based on the DXY also we'll be looking at Euro Dollar, British Pound, US Dollar, gold and other instrument as well. So looking at the monthly chart on DXY to see what kind of opportunity we have. So from the monthly perspective, we can see that this is the monthly level on DXY. This is an significant important monthly support. You can see there is a support here, support here, support here, which is turning resistance here on the monthly, and it's almost nearing to the monthly. Tomorrow is the last day of trading week for the month, and then will be new monthly open, as also there will be new weekly open. So as you can see, DXY currently back-to-back 3 months significantly bearish. The price is almost below the support level, and we may see that DXY bouncing back up for a deeper pullback. And if we look at the weekly chart, we can see that back-to-back almost 4 weeks we saw the series of lower high formation as the market is on the support, and this is the nearest support level here on DXY. We can see that. And in this support, what we can expect on DXY for the market to bounce and then the grab liquidity from this resistance and then to drop back down again. So we might see what I think that could be very different. As you know, that is my personal prediction, could be that DXY might be initially bouncing up for breaking any of this weekly high and then could drop back to the support level at the end of the week. So looking at the daily chart to see how the market is doing, we can see that from the daily perspective, the market is forming series of lower high in that area. And when the market is forming, dropping to the daily series of lower high, here is, we can see the market forming series of lower high, expecting DXY to potentially bounce any of this level. As you can see, there is a resistance here, and we may see that initially sideways and then bouncing back up, grabbing liquidity, dropping down to the support level. If we look at the intraday perspective, where we can see the market is in a sideways situation, you can see there is a bounce forming completely in a sideways movement, and I think that with the market open, we might see further sideways and then potentially breakout and then breakdown. So depending on how the market is reacting, we will be looking for trading opportunity, but the market might remain in this support and resistance throughout the week, and based on that we can look for Euro Dollar and British Pound, US Dollar. Looking at the Euro Dollar, again starting with the highest time frame, looking at the monthly chart to see overall picture in the market. So from the monthly, we can see that this is the monthly candle where there is a monthly bullish engulf for previous months, and this month we can see that the market has dropped to the support, and we can expect now further upside. This is the monthly candle which is almost closing, and we can see that very strong bullish trend continuation. We have seen the drop, sideways movement, and series of higher low formation. With that series of higher low formation, expecting Euro Dollar to bounce back up to create a new higher high. If we look at the daily weekly chart on euro dollar, we can see that from the weekly perspective also this is a bull market. We can see that there is a massive bounce pullback, and we can see another bounce pullback, massive bounce sideways movement, and we saw that 2 weekly doji. This weekly doji here, what we can see, it has crossed this low and then formed this massive long week candle on euro dollar. Now previous week we saw that there is a bullish candle. This week we have seen that so far a doji formation, and at the same time the market is forming series of higher low. I think that this week we might see, as we are expecting in the beginning DXY to potentially bounce, we might see that euro dollar coming down for a deeper pullback and then trend continuation to the upside. So if we look at the daily chart on euro USD, we can see that from the daily perspective, this is the daily candle where there is a long wick on both sides. And what we can expect here on the euro dollar in the beginning to fill some of this week of the daily, and after filling the week, expecting for the market to drop, grab liquidity, and then to return back towards the upside to create a new higher high. So if we look at the 4-hour time frame, what we can see that from the lower time frame here, there is a 4-hour bearish engulfer. And what we can see here, there is a bounce pullback. The market is forming series of higher low in that area. And what we can see here is this is a support level on euro dollar from the 4-hour perspective. And what I think that as you can see, there is a massive rejection here after this green candle. The price may not be able to break directly. Rather, we could see a BUS or the breakup structure, and that breakup structure might give a euro dollar a potential momentum. As you can see, there is an order block here, so you could see that breakup structure can give a new momentum, and from that momentum we might see euro dollar again potentially bouncing back towards the upside. That could be the area that we can look at on euro dollar for potential trading opportunity in the upcoming week. So now let's look at British pound US dollar. Let's see what kind of trading opportunity you have on GBPUSD, looking at the monthly chart to see overall picture in the market. So from the monthly, we can see that this is the monthly price action where there is a monthly bullish engulfer. Previous months we saw that there is a middleman formation. There is a healthy body here on the monthly, and there is a long wick at the top, and also there is a long wick at the bottom. So in both sides we see that wick, and we might see that the price is going up and filling that long wick at the top on the monthly. And what we can expect on British pound US dollar with the new market open, we might see deeper pullback and then continuation to the upside. If we look at the weekly chart, what we can see that from the weekly perspective, this is the weekly bullish candle. And what we can expect in this market, it's a trend continuation, a bounce, pullback, another bounce, deeper pullback, another bounce, pullback, and the market is forming series of higher high and higher low, which is in an uptrending market structure. After this back-to-back 2 weekly doji formation, we can see that from the weekly, the previous week also there is a bullish candle. Now, as we have seen that on euro dollar also doji, but GBP USD we can see that a little strongly bullish than euro dollar. So if you look at this support level here on British pound US dollar, we can expect initial pullback, and I think that either testing the lower shadow of the weekly candle or this support and then bouncing back to the upside to create a new higher high. If we look at the daily chart on British pound US dollar, we can see that from the daily perspective, this is the daily. You can see quite a few days of consolidation, a red candle followed by a green candle. Now we saw another red candle. So this is a structure which for me potentially bullish, and we can see that there is a bounce. With that bounce also there is a liquidity candle formation. Now that is a massive bullish candle, and we have seen after that there is a strong bounce towards the upside on British pound US dollar. And what I think that with the market open, we might see that GBPUSD is breaking below which eventually we could see a break of a structure that can give us potentially upside momentum on GBP USD. And we can see that there is a like the euro dollar, after this bullish candle there is immediate rejection, and with that rejection what we can expect on British pound US dollar for the market to return back to the support and then to bounce back up to create a new higher high. So that could be the zone that we might see on British pound US dollar to break from the structure, or we might see break of this structure, as these two are important supports level that we can expect British pound US dollar to retest and then to return back to the upside to create a new higher high. So now let's look at ENPR, and then also we will be looking at XAU USD. So looking at GBP JPY to see what kind of opportunity we have. Looking at the monthly chart on British pound US dollar, we can see that from the monthly perspective, this is GBP JPY. From the monthly, this is a massive bounce on the monthly, followed by deeper pullback. And with that pullback, we can see there is a doji followed by another long wick doji formation on GBP JPY, expecting for this market to drop, grab liquidity, and then to bounce back up to create a new higher high. So if we look at the weekly chart, we can see that from the weekly perspective, this is the weekly candle, which is in fact we have seen there is a rejection after this big drop, consolidation, and then we have seen there is a rejection, and then we can expect for the market to continue towards the upside to create a new higher high. So there is a weekly pin bar here, and what we can expect now, as we have seen there's a strong rejection, expecting for the market to drop down and then to potentially bounce back to the upside to create a new higher high. So if we look at the daily chart on GBP JPY, and also we can look for the potentially Fibonacci level to see where the market is heading. We can see that currently the price at 50% Fibonacci level, expecting it to drop down to 61.8%, which might be an important support level that we can look at on GBP JPY. Now if we look at here also, there is a bullish uptrending market structure on GBP JPY, expecting for this market to create a series of higher high and higher low in this uptrending market. And what we can see here on the 4-hour time frame on GJ, we can see the market is basically dropping down, and what we can expect for the market to drop further to grab more liquidity and then to bounce back up to create a new higher high. This is where we will be waiting for potential bullish trading opportunity on GBP JPY. Now let's see what kind of trading opportunity we may have on dollar yen, looking at the monthly chart to see overall picture in the market. Now from the monthly, we can see that this is the monthly bearish candle followed by another monthly candle with a long wick at the bottom. And here what we can expect on dollar yen, as you can see, this is the monthly candle, expecting it to drop further to the support level. We have seen already the price tested the support once, and let's see on the weekly how the market is evolving. Now from the weekly perspective, we can see that after this drop, there was a massive drop followed by consolidation, and this is the weekly candle on dollar yen past week. And what I think that, like the GJ, we might see an initial breakdown and then bouncing back to the upside. The other way could be that dollar yen may continue to rise to the upside if we see that initial bounce on DXY. Now if we look at the daily chart on DXY, what we can see that from the daily time frame, this is the daily price action, and where what we can see that this is the daily, there is a daily liquidity zone here. This is a massive liquidity candle here on the daily, and we have seen that on dollar yen, after break of this high, there is a immediate rejection towards the downside to create a new lower low on dollar yen. Now looking at the 4-hour perspective, we can see that there is a big drop here on dollar yen, and what we can expect for the market to break below, grab liquidity, and then to bounce back up to create a new higher high. So that could be the area where we can look for potential bullish trading opportunity on dollar yen. Now let's look at XAU USD. Now past week we saw that there was a significant volatility on XAU USD. Looking at the monthly chart to see what kind of opportunity we have. From the monthly, we can see that XAU USD, it is a bullish market. We can see there is a massive bounce followed by narrow pullback, and we can see this monthly candle closing in tomorrow. We can see also it's a significantly bull market, and with that bull market, what we can expect on XAU USD for the market to keep pushing high. If we look at the weekly chart, what we can see that from the weekly perspective, this is the weekly candle where there is a bounce followed by another bullish candle, followed by we can see another weekly candle that has a long wick also at the top, and we might see that the price is coming for a pullback and then to bounce back up to fill that long wick at the top. Now dropping down to the daily chart on XAU USD, we can see that from the daily, this is the daily impulse here, and this is a massive impulse followed by narrow correction, and we can see that there is a very smaller daily reaction to the upside and then immediately drop back to the liquidity zone. So if we draw this support level here on the daily, this is an important liquidity zone on XAU USD. As the market has crossed this dodgy's low, grab massive amount of liquidity and then closed back above. If you closely look at, we can see the market has closed above this previous daily opening, which is an important liquidity zone. And if we look at the intraday perspective, we can see the market already had a massive rejection towards the upside after break all of this low. Now what we can expect on XAU USD for the market to come down for a deeper pullback and then to continue to the upside, as we have seen the long-term picture on XAU USD is bullish. Now if we look at the very lower time frame from day trading perspective, we can see the last day of trading week we saw quite a few liquidity candle formation, and the market has had a strong bounce towards the upside to create a new higher high. So what we can expect in this market on XAU USD is for the price to come down for a deeper pullback. This is a strong uptrending market structure we can see, and in that uptrending market structure we see there is a dodgy narrow red candle formation. These are two important liquidity zone, and what I think that with the market open expecting initial drop that can give a potential trading opportunity, we might see a retest of the support and then continuation to the upside, expecting XAU USD to bounce back up and then to continue to the upside to create a new higher high. So this could be the wave on XAU USD. As soon as we will find suitable entry, we will be looking to trade with the market open. Now let's look at dollar CAD. Now past week we saw that there was a CAD news being published, and this week also with the NFP also we can expect significant movement on dollar CAD. Now looking at the monthly chart to see overall picture in the market. Now from the monthly we can see that dollar CAD is there is a massive bearish candle followed by a long wick doji here on the monthly on dollar CAD, and with that long wick doji, what we can expect on dollar CAD for the market to retest and then to bounce back up. If we look at the weekly chart on dollar CAD, we can see that from the weekly perspective, this is the weekly drop followed by a pullback, and we can see the market is showing further bearish price action here with a long wick at the bottom on dollar CAD. If we look at the daily chart, what we can see that from the daily perspective, this is the daily price action here, and with that daily price action, what we can see there is a double bottom here, and with the double bottom expecting dollar CAD to remain bullish to the upside to create a new higher high. So if we look at the 4-hour perspective on dollar CAD, we can see that from the 4-hour time frame is where there is a bullish price action here. We can see there's a bounce, pullback, consolidation, and the market is forming series of higher high and higher low which might keep the price bouncing back to the upside to create a new higher high. So there is a bullish engulfer followed by narrow doji formation on dollar CAD. And what we can expect in this market for the price to drop, grab liquidity, and then to bounce back up to create a new higher high. So that could be the a wave on dollar CAD to see where the market is heading. We will be looking for trading opportunity based on the price action confirmation with the market open. Now let's look at US30 to see overall picture in the market. Looking at the monthly chart on US30, we can see that from the monthly perspective, this is a bull market. We can see there is a massive bounce followed by a narrow pullback, and we can see another bounce on US30. And previous month we have seen that there is a narrow pin bar formation here on US30, and with that pin bar, what we can expect for this market to come down for a pullback and then to continue to rise to the upside to create a new higher high. So if we look at the weekly chart on US30, we can see that from the weekly perspective, there is a weekly doji formation here, and we can see there is a bounce and with a narrow weekly doji that has closed. And I think that US30, we might see that the price is coming back down further, and it may break below, which is basically a weekly support. And as it is a long-term bull market, we may see that a rejection from those levels. Now, dropping down to the daily, we can see clear uptrending market structure where you can see there is a bounce, narrow pullback, another bounce, deeper pullback, and the market is forming series of higher high and higher low, which is an uptrending market structure. If we look at the daily chart here on US30, we can see that from the daily, there is a daily doji formation, and with that daily doji, what we can expect for the market to break, grab liquidity, and then to bounce back up to create a new higher high. So if we look at the 4-hour time frame on US30, we can see that from the lower time frame perspective on US30, there is a breakdown here, and then the market tested the support. The market is now trending, creating series of higher high and higher low. So we can see there is a pin bar here, there is a bullish engulfer, and with that bullish engulfer, expecting US30 to drop, grab liquidity, and then to bounce back up to create a new higher high. So this could be a zone that we can look for potential trading opportunity if there is any entry comes. Now looking at NASDAQ, we can see that from NASDAQ perspective, looking at the monthly chart to see overall picture in the market. Now from the monthly, we can see that NASDAQ is bull market. This is a monthly impulse on NASDAQ. There's a monthly candle here, which is basically almost closing at the end of the month. We can expect NASDAQ to bounce back up to create a new higher high. So this is a support level on NASDAQ. Now, if we look at the weekly chart, we can see that from the weekly perspective, this is the weekly impulse here on US 30. So, pardon me, US 100, which is on NASDAQ. And last week, we saw a candle with a long wick at the top, and we can expect for this market to retest and then to return back to create a new higher high. So dropping down to the daily chart, we can see that from the daily perspective, this is the daily price action where there is an impulse narrow correction. We can see another impulse narrow correction, another impulse. We can see that there is the market below this support level on the daily on NASDAQ, expecting for the market to drop further and then to return back to the upside to create a new higher high. So from the 4-hour perspective on NASDAQ, we can see that in this lower time frame, the market structure is bullish. So we can see here is a consolidation breakout. The market is forming series of higher high and higher low, which is an uptrending market structure. And what we can expect now for the market to break any of this important support and then to return back to the upside to create a new higher high. That could be the wave on NASDAQ. So these are the instruments that we will be looking for trading opportunity in the upcoming week. In addition, any trade also coming, other instrument, we'll be looking to see if there is any opportunity. So if you guys enjoyed this weekly Forex forecast, make sure that you give a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel for more content like that. Thank you, and I'll see you soon in my next analysis.